Bad reviews or bad experiences with your company. Look, if you do loans long enough, if you stick to this game long enough, if you go on enough sales calls, if you talk to enough borrowers, you are going to hear realtors be like, oh my God, I had the worst experience with your company. Or you're gonna have borrowers or prospective borrowers, I just looked up your Better Business reviews and you have a bad complaint or a bad rating. What do? Do you curl up in a fetal position, suck your thumb and be like, woe is me? Or do you persevere and overcome? You're a business professional, you're a saleswoman, you're a salesman. You need to adapt and overcome. Right, so I'm gonna start with the realtor or the builder that you are calling on. You're trying to build a relationship with them and they're like, oh, I had the worst experience with your company. I'm first gonna start with empathy. Oh, tell me more about that. And I'm gonna let them talk. And then what I wanna do after I hear them out, and I'm gonna repeat back to them what they said, because I want them to hear me, hear them. I want them to understand that I get what they're putting down. But then I'm gonna remind them, well, ma'am or sir, I'm pretty sure it wasn't me, the loan officer, that you had a bad experience with. Like, no, it wasn't you, it was insert that person's name. Then I'm gonna remind them, especially if they're a realtor. Well, ma'am or sir, you work for EXP, or you work for Keller Williams, or you work for RE/MAX. If my sister had a bad experience with a RE/MAX agent, should I hold that against you? If my ex-coworker had a bad experience with an EXP agent, should I not be willing to work with you if you worked for EXP? No. You know as well as I know, it's the individual, it's the professional. So I hear you that you had a bad experience, but I promise you that experience wasn't with me. What I'm gonna ask you to do is don't hold my company accountable for maybe what one bad actor may have said or done. And maybe that person was having a bad day, right? We're all human. Not every transaction goes exactly the way that you want it, but I'm asking you to believe in me. I'm asking you to trust in me and work with me, because ultimately, I'm the professional. I'm the person who's accountable to you. I'm the person who your clients are gonna love. I'm the person who, when you pick up the phone and you text me or call me, whether it's nights and weekends, I'm gonna be the one picking up the phone call. You just need to trust that I'm only gonna align myself with companies that I think are going to allow me to perform my professional duties at the highest level. Right, so that's what you would want to do when that realtor comes at you and they talk about having a bad experience with your particular company, or that builder talks about having a bad experience with your particular company. You need to be able to differentiate that, hey, look, I don't think it was the company. I think it was probably the individual. And let's say the individual still works for your company and you have a lot of respect for them. You could acknowledge, hey, look, I think you just had like a bad first attempt, because I know that person, that's not usual for them. But what I can tell you is, just like you, this is my book of business. And I'm gonna make sure that you don't have an experience like that. So let's flip the script a little bit, so to speak. Now we have a borrower. Now that borrower, they looked us up on Better Business Bureau. They looked us up on Zillow. They saw a bad review about our company. Well, the same thing has to apply. Hey, ma'am or sir, I understand that you saw that bad review. And here's what's crazy. I've had in my career where the bad review was 5 states away. 5 states. I was in Florida, there's a bad review in Tennessee, and I was being held accountable for that bad review. So what I have to say to that person is I have to find a common ground. First, I have to explain my role. Look, ma'am or sir, my role is I am your advisor. I am your advocate. You're choosing to work with me. You're not necessarily choosing to work with my company. You're choosing to work with me because I'm the person who's gonna be accountable to you. I'm the person who's gonna be answering your phone calls. I'm gonna be the person who is gonna be answering your questions. Just trust that I've aligned myself with a company that I feel like allows me to perform my professional services at the highest level. I'm not gonna deny that someone previous had a bad experience, but what I need you to know is that bad experience wasn't with me. No one's perfect. My company is a great company, but we probably have 95% of our clients sing our praises. There's always going to be 5% who, for whatever reason, whether it's their fault, our fault, or someone else's fault, it's indifferent. They held us accountable, we took ownership, and their experience wasn't what we wanted. Please know that we learned from that, we grew from that, and we're better because of it. Now, sometimes, depending on how the conversation goes with that particular borrower, I'll try to find analogies, right? Like, I fly Delta, I stay at Marriott, but not every single one of my Delta experiences has been top notch. Not every one of my Marriott experiences has been amazing. I actually stayed at a Marriott where I had to change rooms because my wife and I found dead cockroaches in the bed. True story. I would share that story with a prospective client because it doesn't mean I don't still stay at Marriott's. No, I still love Marriott's, right? I just understand that, hey, 1 out of 25 or 1 out of 50 experiences might not live up to my expectations, and that's okay. I judge based on the totality. So you need a way to be able to explain that when the question comes up of, hey, well, why should I work with you when there's a bad review on the Better Business Bureau, or a realtor saying to you, why should I work with you? I've had a terrible experience with your company in the past. You need to find a way to differentiate yourself from the company, but at the same time, use storytelling to relate to that realtor or relate to that prospective borrower and let them know that great companies from time to time will have one-offs where the client's satisfaction wasn't met. But what great companies do is they learn from it, they grow from it, they make the situation better, and then they move on. And that's what your company has done. And more importantly, they're choosing to work with you, not necessarily your company.